some worrying transfer news to tell you guys about, as Forest are going to be active in the market. But is this in the right places? Welcome to your transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your Forest transfer news. Coming up today, we're going to be telling you about a link to a player from Manchester United to Forest and a link from a player from Real Madrid to Forest. Sounds good on paper, but it worries me. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get 626 likes. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And you've got till tomorrow to get this signed frame Taiwo shirt. So scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Go check out football prizes. And finally, don't forget, we got a new Twitter at YouTube FFTV. All right, let's jump into this news. And I'll start with the Man U link, and then I'll explain why it does worry me, especially when I get onto the Real Madrid link. Man U's player, Victor Lindelof, is up for the end of his contract. Come January, he'll be able to speak to clubs freely and move on. Manchester United want to cash in on him. They're looking to get somewhere between like 5 and 6 million before his contract runs out. Apparently, they think he's valued at 30 million under full contract. And one of the clubs that are interested in him is our club, Forest. But it's not just Forest that are interested in him. It's quite a big shopping list on this. Newcastle, West Ham, Everton, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juve, Lazio, and Fiorentina are all interested in the Swedish international services. Now, one person who is not interested in him is me. I do not rate him at all. In fact, more so than not rating him is his injury record. Just worries the crap out of me. I spoke to this on Patreon yesterday, so if you do want this news like exclusive, bang on the money and early, make sure you're signed up to our Patreon. But I just don't understand the logic behind this. He's 30 years old. He can't seem to stay fit. And I think he's quite weak on the ball. And I don't think he works well unless he's got a good defender next to him. And that makes him average. And then, yes, you are right. I have my Man United agenda. So I don't want any more Man United players coming from Forest. Well, there's probably one I would take. Anyway, but my bigger worry about this, forget the Man U thing, forget the Victor Lindelof thing, is why, oh why, do we need another centre-back? Because we've got Eminem, Murillo and Milenkovic. And then we got Eminem and M when you add in Morato. We got the guy out on loan in Greece who's probably coming to Forest next season. We've also then got Omar Bamadeli and Willy Bolly as well. I think it's probably our strongest position at centre-back. So my worry here is, with Lindelof coming up, potentially being linked here to Forest, and with the next person we'll talk about in a minute, who's a centre-back as well, spoiler alert. You know where I'm going with this. What does it mean for Murillo or Milenkovic at that? Because this could be either now. They are so red hot right now. Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's talking about Forest being fourth and our centre-backs and everything. It worries me what this future means. Now, I look at it with my Forest goggles off, and I think no chance. I can't see either of them being sold in January. It just doesn't make sense. Forest would seriously diminish their strength if they sold either one, let alone both. And I can't see Marinakis green lighting that. It would take a monumental offer. I'm talking like, I think both of them are worth 80 mil. Let's just put that price tag on. For them to be sold in January, if Forest were to accept anything less than 100 mil, then I would absolutely lose my crap. Because January is an overinflated market anyway, because it's teams that are panicking, need to support maybe an injury, maybe they're doing crapper in the league than they expected. So you can get a better set for your money if you're the club that's selling. But even then, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't sell. Why rock the boat when we're fourth? And why look to strengthen in this position with Lindelof? He's crap, man. I'll be straight with you guys, as I always am. So that's my worry on that one. Now, it could be that Forest are looking to pick him up on a Bosman at the end of the season on a freebie to add experience. Maybe Willy Bolly's going and he's Willy Bolly's replacement. But again, I don't see the strength in this, because I think that if those other clubs are interested in him, he's more likely to get game time at an Everton or a West Ham or a Fiorentina, something like that. He's not going to be first choice at Forest. So from his perspective, I don't see it being favourable either. So I would like to dismiss this outright. I'm not confident enough to say, yeah, it's all BS. It's all BS. I've seen it in plenty of reports. As we said, we broke out on Patreon yesterday for you guys, but it is worrying. But my question to you guys is, would you take Lindelof at Forest? Be it for 5 mil or be it for a free at the end of the summer. Maybe you guys rate him. I don't know. But remember, I'm never wrong, man. Eddie Nketiah. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on to the next link. All right, so let's move on to this second link, and this is Raúl Asensio. No, he's not the Asensio that you think was at Real, who's gone to, I think, PSG. Now, this is a younger centre-back. He's, I believe, 21 years old. His values, he's actually worth about 300k, but there's talks his valuation is in and around 8 to 9 million pounds. And he's a good up-and-coming centre-back. Now, even with Real Madrid having their centre-back crisis, he's had very limited exposure to that first team. He played a few games in the summer tour in America. I think he even played against Chelsea off the top of my head. And he's come on to replace Rudiger a few times in the senior team. But he hasn't really broken through into the Real Madrid ranks. Now, he's been in their academy since, I think, 2019, and he's been impressing a lot. In fact, Forest aren't the only club interested in him. Newcastle are interested in him as well, and Aston Villa. And Aston Villa have got stronger links with him than the likes of Newcastle. Now, I'm all up for this one. I'll say it off the bat. This is a young up-and-coming centre-back. He's got that Spanish flair. He reminds me a bit of a right-sided Murillo. He's got a great eye for a long pass. He's quite physical. Isn't really that tall, in my opinion, for a centre-back. Can play right centre-back. That's his more natural position, but can also play on the left side of the centre-back pairing as well. But yeah, again, this makes me think, is this a future signing or is it a replacement signing? Because I'm seeing a lot of noise about centre-backs, as we've just told you, on Victor Lindelof. And this one, you then start to think, is this a Milenkovic replacement? Because it's a right-sided one. But he's too young for me to be trusted to be chucked straight in. He could be a Murillo style, comes in, impresses in training, forces his way straight into the team kind of thing. But he's not going to be able to get in unless Milenkovic is gone or Murillo's gone. So I am, in a way, 100% up for it, but 100% worried about it. And if Forest can get him in and around that 8 to 10 million pound mark, then it's a real cheap option. If it fails, it hasn't cost us much, all those usual things. But there is this sense of frustration amongst the Real Madrid kind of camp where it feels like Real Madrid aren't very Spanish anymore, that they're, recruiting some style Galacticos with Mbappe, etc. And they're missing that Spanish core, those academy players coming through. So there was a real liking of the idea that Asensio was going to be that one to break through with all the injuries that I just talked about to you guys earlier. And with that not happening, there's a sense that he's up for sale. Forest, Newcastle and Aston Villa are monitoring him heavily. He's been linked previously a year or so ago to the likes of Leeds and West Ham, but he's progressed on further that he's kind of outgrown those smaller sized teams. Had to get that one in. So what do you guys think about this link? Does it worry you? Does it worry you that I'm sitting here talking to you about centre-backs and not a backup to Chris Wood, a potential backup to Sangare, or someone who's fit who can play in the 6, or another right winger, or whatever other positions you think we may need to strengthen in January? And it just seems to be too much talk about centre-backs. So I'm a little worried. Let me know how you guys feel. That brings you up to date with your transfer news. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV. If you are new, check out this signed Taiwo framed shirt from Football Prizes, and we will see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.